Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Gabin from Design Tribe, and in this video I'm going to be showing you exactly how I designed this flyer from start to finish. So the first thing we want to do is to create a new project, and for this project I'm going to be using a size of 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. And the next thing I want to do is to create this background, because this is the complex part of this design, is to create this background. So I'm just going to drag this texture into my project. So once this is brought into my project, I'll just stretch it out like this. And next thing I'll do is to apply a solid color adjustment layer above it, and I choose a dark bluish color, something about this, and I take OK. I change the blend mode to color, and next is I'll apply a level adjustments layer above it to darken it like this. Okay, once that is done, I'll bring in the next image, which will be this. Just drag and drop. I'll bring it right down to somewhere around here. I'll increase the size a little like that. So I'll then add a mask to it. I'll use my black brush, increase the size of my brush to a big brush, and I reduce my hardness down to 0. Increase this again, and I'll just paint around these areas like this. Just gently paint so the transition is smooth. Okay, I want to bring this road layer up a little like that, and when that is done, to make sure that everything has the same color tone, I'll just duplicate this color fill layer and I'll put above the road layer so that they all have the same color. So the next thing I want to do is to bring the next image, which is this. So I'll just drag and drop in here, reduce the size to something like this, and change my blend mode to linear dodge, and I'll mask it, use my brush tool, paint around so it blends with the background. Increase this a little. So once I've blended everything in like that, I may want to reduce the opacity a little, and then next thing I want to do is to create this, to bring in my logo. So I'll just go to my files, bring in the logo, just drag and drop, reduce the size of the logo to this. Now I'll just type in the name of the organization, select everything and align left. Then I'll just scale it down to something like this, position it here. The next thing I will do is to create a line in between the text and the logo like that. That is done. The next thing I want to create is this mission tour text. So for that, I'll type in missions. Once that is done, I'll group the two layers, right, convert them to a smart object, increase the size slightly so I can see what is going on there. Ctrl C, distort, come to warp, and then I'll just warp this like this. Once that is done, the next thing I want to do is to create a new layer below, and I use my brush hardness at 100%, reduce the size to 9, and I just draw a line like this and put everything in a group. Ctrl T and move it to this top right corner of the page. Then the next thing I want to create is the reviver text. So before doing that, create the path of, and change the font to Cinzel, like that. Then type in reviver, change this font to Bebas, like that, and size it up, scale it up like this. Okay, at this point I may want to reduce the space in between the text like that. Select both layers and I move it up a little like this. Ctrl C again and I increase the size, just resize it like that. Okay, then I may want to resize this a little so it's a little bigger than it is, like that. Then I use my rectangular shape tool and I'll create a thin line like this. Once that line is created, I will just move it to the center and add a mask to it. Use my rectangular marquee tool and make a selection like this and fill it with black to wipe that part. Next thing I want to do is to bring in my lamp with touch. I'll just bring it here like this. Once it comes in, change the blend mode to screen so I can remove the black layers and I scale it up like this. And once that is done, I will move this text up a little. I think I'll group these 3 layers, Ctrl T, and I'll move them up to this point like this. Then the next thing I will do is to bring in the other text. I have it here. I'll just copy and paste. Ctrl C, reduce the size a little like this, position it there, and now I'll add a shadow beneath the text layer, a shadow somewhere here. For that, I'll just increase the size of my brush and reduce the hardness to 0, and I'll just click like that. Ctrl T, now scale it down like this to create a shadow effect and drop down the opacity like that. So once this is done, the next thing I want to do is to add the social media handles here. So in order not to waste your time, I'll just drag this preset I have, which I use for my designs, and I'll just drop it here. Ctrl T, and I'll increase the size to these. And now I'll just be adding a gold texture to everything. So I'll bring this gold texture above this first group which I created here, and I'll clip it to that layer. Ctrl T, and I move it up so it fills that layer. Enter, Ctrl J to create another copy, and I take it up above this other group and I clip it on it like that. I bring it down to this layer, increase the size a little like this, and that is it. I want to reduce the size of this a little like this, and then next thing, create a copy again of this and identify the layers for the logo, bring them together. These 3 layers, I'll just group them together. Then I bring this layer above the logo like here, and I clip it to it like that. Ctrl C, move it this way. Okay, add this to that layer so it covers everything. Then we want to modify the background a little like this, and everything is set. Now I will just want to do some little modifications to the touch layer. Ctrl T, bring it down a little like this, and then I'll add a levels adjustment layer and just darken everything slightly like that, and we are pretty much done. The next thing I did was just to group everything together like this to a group, convert it to a smart object, and then I just add a little sharpening to it by going to camera raw and increase my clarity like this. Click on OK. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, do well to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and share with other creatives so they can get to learn also. Thank you for watching.